Welcome to TenGlow, your home for epic top 10s that spark curiosity. Today we're uncovering historical events so strange you'll question reality. Subscribe and keep watching for unbelievable facts. Let's dive in. We scour the globe for facts that will absolutely blow your mind. Today, we've got stories so insane you won't believe they actually happened. But every one of them is real. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an epic countdown. Are you ready to have your mind blown? Good, let's dive in. Kicking off our list at number 10 is one of the most bizarre and terrifying events you'll ever hear about. Imagine walking through Strasbourg in 1518 and seeing one person step into the street and just start dancing. Within a week, 34 others had joined. Within a month, 400 people were dancing uncontrollably, not for joy, but because their bodies wouldn't stop. City officials even built a stage and hired musicians, hoping the dancers would tire themselves out. It only made things worse. Historians argue mass hysteria or ergot poisoning from rye bread, mold that can cause spasms and hallucinations. We may never know, but the dancing plague remains one of history's most chilling mysteries. Alright, coming in at number 9, down under in 1932, Australia officially declared war on emus. An estimated 20,000 emus descended on farmlands, eating crops and destroying fences. Soldiers from the Royal Australian Artillery arrived with Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds, and were promptly outsmarted. The guns jammed, the birds scattered, and after a month the operation was called off. The emus had won. Nature won. Us 0. Number 8, Siberia, 1908. One morning a fireball as bright as the sun tore across the sky. Seconds later an explosion flattened roughly 80 million trees over 2,000 square kilometers. Like 1,000 Hiroshima bombs detonated in the air. Expeditions found no crater and no fragments. The trees point away from a central blast, but the ground was remarkably intact. Leading theory, an air-bursting comet or asteroid, but lack of evidence spawned wilder ideas. Number 7 is even crazier. Stay tuned. Get ready. Boston, 1919. A 50-foot tank holding over 2.3 million gallons of molasses ruptured. A 25-foot wave of thick molasses barreled through the north end at roughly 35 miles per hour, ripping buildings off foundations. Rescue efforts were almost impossible. The harbor turned brown, and 21 people died while 150 were injured. Investigators later found the tank was poorly constructed and had been leaking. The company tried to hide it. A tragic, sticky disaster. Number 6. Enter conspiracy territory. The phantom time hypothesis claims roughly 297 years of history were fabricated. Proposed by Heribert Illig, the theory says Otto III and others padded the calendar so the year 1000 would occur under their reigns, essentially inventing centuries. Proponents cite sparse archaeology and calendar math. Critics point to astronomical records and global chronicles that align with the conventional timeline. Rejected by most historians, but the idea that whole centuries could be made up is wildly thought-provoking. Number 5, Oregon, 1970. A 45-foot, 8-ton whale washed ashore, too big to bury, too smelly to leave. An engineer suggested a brilliant plan: blow it up with dynamite. They packed the whale with a half-ton of explosives. Instead of tiny pieces, airplane-sized chunks of blubber rained down. One chunk crushed a car half a mile away. The plan was a spectacular failure. You can't make this stuff up. And number 4 is even wilder. Stay tuned. Number 4, Los Angeles, February 24, 1942. Months after Pearl Harbor, the coast was on edge. Just after 2 a.m., sirens blared. Radar picked up an object. Searchlights locked on. At 3:16 a.m., anti-aircraft guns opened up. Over 1,400 shells were fired into the sky. The barrage lasted hours. 3 civilians were killed by falling shells and chaos reigned. Officially, war nerves and a weather balloon. Unofficially, a UFO. No wreckage was ever recovered. The Battle of Los Angeles remains a chilling mystery. Number 3, 12th century wool pit, England. Villagers found 2 children by a pit, but their skin was green. They wore strange clothes, spoke an unknown language, and refused all food except freshly picked green beans, which they devoured. The girls said they'd come from St. Martin's Land, an underground twilight world. Over time, their green hue faded. The boy died soon after baptism. The girls survived and told the tale. Were they subterranean, alien, or a folktale amplified by time? No one knows. Number 2. Every year in Lloro, Honduras, sometime between May and July, violent storms roll in. And then the streets are full of fish. This annual event, the Lluvia de Peces, has been documented for over a century. People gather fish in buckets and cook them. Scientists propose waterspouts carry fish inland, but the species are blind freshwater fish not native to nearby rivers, complicating the explanation. Some now think the fish come from underground rivers forced up during storms, miracle or meteorological mystery. Either way, free food from the sky. And here we are, number 1, the defenestration of Prague, literally the act of throwing someone out a window. In 1618 this sparked a war. Protestant nobles dragged 2 regents and their secretary to a castle window and hurled them out, a 70-foot fall. Catholics claimed angelic intervention saved them. Protestants said they landed in a giant pile of horse manure and survived. A pile of poop changed history. This bizarre act ignited the 30 Years' War, a conflict that would kill millions. You can't make this stuff up. And that is our list of the 10 strangest events in history. From a dancing plague to a war lost to birds, history is far stranger than fiction. Which event shocked you most? Comment below. I read everyone. Hit that like button and subscribe to TenGlow for more epic countdowns. Don't miss out. See you in the next video.